Hello there guys, and welcome to another video of myself playing Smite. This time I'm playing Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. We are still in arena mode. Now Artemis is a hunter. I like this character very much. I do like playing the hunters. I have a rank of mastery with this character, which means I've played her a fair bit. Two other characters on my team also have a rank of mastery with their character, Fenrir and Thor. So hopefully the people on my team are a little bit more skilled, possibly. Again, this is post-commentary, because this is quite a confusing game to play and talk at the same time. Now, this time around, I'm playing with Auto Buy On, which is a little option that automatically buys all of my items for me whenever I revisit the fountain. This is a great little option for people who are new to the game, or just people who are lazy, and I am new and lazy, so I don't really have a problem using it. So the very first thing that I do as soon as the match starts, before anyone else really gets outside, is I run out with my number one ability, which is a trap that I can place on the ground. I can have up to 3 of these active at any one time. I like to run out and place it down before the enemy team get out of their fountain and see where I put it down. But if any enemy walks within sort of 5 feet of it, they will get stuck in it for a couple of seconds. Now, I'm not too sure what our Fenrir is doing here. He actually dives into the middle of their team with no support and absolutely no reason to do so. Almost gets himself killed. Thor goes in to help out. I go in with my suppress to try and back them off, and they do. So at least we managed to save Fenrir, but he's down to about 3/4 of his health now, which is a little bit of a misplay from him. So, I'm going to go in with my suppress and try to damage and slow the creep wave. So, I have 4 abilities, the same as any other god, as well as a passive. I have my trap. I have my vengeful assault, which basically allows me to fire more quickly and gives me a movement speed increase. I also have my suppress. I'm just getting behind Ra here. He hasn't even noticed that I'm standing behind him, so I put a few arrows in him. So I have my suppress, which allows me to do AoE damage, and it slows the target. Still going after Ra here. I figured that I might be able to get him, but then I realised, well, hang on, all their guys are behind me, and I should run. And then I get hit by their Kali and by their Hercules, so I just start running away. My ultimate ability is my Caledonian Boar. And if I summon that in, it will run around stunning gods, and it makes me immune to crowd control effects and does a fair bit of damage to them as well. There goes Ra's Solar Blessing, which damages any good guys standing in it, and it will heal any of their guys standing in it. So there's my boar. I just fired it off and stunned a minion. Kali got away with just a sliver of her health. I decided to go after her and then realised she's probably going to get away, so I give up on doing that. I've already got 1 assist at this point anyway. I see Amir over here is attacking our Fenrir. I get behind him. Again, he hasn't realised that I'm there. So I do quite a lot of damage as a hunter. My single target damage is actually very, very high. So I'm out of mana and I've already used my meditation. I decide I'll just pop my head in the fountain, recharge my mana, and it automatically purchases for me my combat boots. You can actually adjust the order and which items it buys for you automatically, so you can customise it, but if you've got a preferred build, it just buys them for you without you having to go in and do it manually. Not the most optimal way to play, because sometimes you end up in a particular situation where other items would be more useful, like in the last game where I was up against Ares and having the beta purification was essential, which is one of the main reasons why I didn't auto buy for that. So what I'm doing here mainly at the beginning is just using my auto attacks to get rid of as much of the creep wave as possible. I keep dropping down traps here and there, usually in the middle of a crowd, because it makes it difficult for the enemy to see where it gets put down, and their Guan Yu gets caught in it. Doesn't do an awful lot of damage to him per se, but Athena does get a chance to have a few shots at him. Sadly, he does get away. Being careful now because I'm being harassed by Ra. In goes my suppression again to try and thin out the creep wave. A lot of guys here, not really sure who I'm shooting at and what I'm doing. Their Hercules does kill our Athena. And our Kali kills Ra in exchange. Ra, rather annoyingly, does his blind, which stuns and gives a little bit of damage. It also slows all minions in the area. So Ra's still dead. We've got Ymir out there. There's another creep wave. Guan Yu comes running after me. Now, playing as Athena or any of the hunters, you do become a bit of a target because you've got quite low health and you do a lot of damage. And You're what is referred to in most of these games as a carry. You do a lot more damage as time goes on when you start getting gear. So the enemy team are going to want to try and shut you down as much as possible, as often as possible. Again, I tried to go on Carly there and realised it wasn't going to work. Hercules has already killed one person, so I am just running away from him, though he does back off. So I decided to stay out here and put my suppression in again, just to try and do a bit of damage to Hercules and the creep wave. That thing around my feet means that Athena is about to drop in on me, and there she goes. She is an ally. It's one of her abilities. It's actually her ultimate. She can drop in on another friendly god anywhere on the map. So I lost a bit of health there, popped my health potion, go running in with my suppression ready. Fenrir manages to kill Guan Yu. I can see Raz on low health there, but Carly manages to get him at the back. They have a Carly as well, so it's obviously a little bit confusing because you can have the same god on both teams, which is a little bit weird. Not like something you can do on the likes of, say, Dota, where you can only pick one god once. So I decide to drop down my boar because there's a few gods around. I get a couple of stuns off. Wasn't really enough for anybody to do anything, although Fenrir does dive in. So I decide to go back to the creep wave because I have low health and no mana. And again, Ra's in there with his solar blessing. We also saw Hercules' giant boulder come rolling across. Now, my passive with Artemis means that each time I get a successful hit on an enemy, I actually get a 5% crit buff that stacks up to 3 times. So it's actually quite useful. So, decided to chase Ra off there. I knew I wasn't going to get him, and there's a creep wave coming down, so I thought, well, I'll go over here. I was going to go back to the fountain originally, but I thought I need to deal with the creep wave. So, in goes the suppression. I actually managed to hit Guan Yu with that as well. I fire off my Vengeful Assault just to get the faster attack speed, and just start clearing up the creep wave. By the time I've done that, there's another creep wave coming in. So, Arthur takes down Guan Yu. We are up 7 kills to 6, so it's still very close at this point. We are slightly ahead on tickets. I'm having a bit of trouble here because there's quite a lot of these minions that are about to get through and no one's helping me clean them up. I don't have an awful lot of area effect, and they're doing quite a bit of damage to me, so I decide to let a couple of them through, and I kite the others back to the fountain so that the towers finish them off for me, and then I go back, recharge my health, pick up my warrior tabby boots, and then pick up my cursed gauntlets. So running back in, Carly's lost some health and is being chased out. I run back into the middle of the fight and drop my suppression on the creep wave, also hitting a mirror at the same time. Fenrir jumps in to do not an awful lot. Down goes my boar. I was hoping it would hit Emir, but it didn't. I think it either got Guan Yu or somebody else. I did manage to get Emir in the middle of all of that by frantically firing at him. Thor picks off their Guan Yu. Didn't realise that Carly was behind me, who decided to have a go at me. I dropped down my trap, which just managed to get her and pick her off with my standard attacks. Raz being backed into the corner a little bit. He should have run at this point, but he's decided to stay and face. But no, he's decided now he's close enough to run away. So we've got a siege minion coming in. I decide to go over here and mop up their creep wave to try and help the siege minion get through. But then I notice that Guan Yu is turning up and trying to dice me. So I run away, hitting my sprint, realise he's not chasing me on the mini-map, turn around and go back to trying to clear up the creep wave. In comes Carly and does a bit more damage to me. So I run back behind the safety of our Carly and Athena. Just waiting for my meditation to come off cooldown so I can pop that and get my mana back up, and there it goes. Now I'm standing in Ra's Solar Blessing, so I get out of that pretty quickly. And down goes another suppression to try and mop up the creep wave, although Thor goes in and gets involved. So I've got 2 kills, no deaths, 4 assists at this point. Just a lot of posturing in the middle while we are tidying up the creeps. That's one of Ra's very annoying abilities. I should have got out of the way of that. It's basically telegraphed in and it does an awful lot of damage when it hits you, but I did get clipped by it. So I dropped my boar in an attempt to try and get Emir, and it does get him, and I get the stun on him. Unfortunately, he is a tank, so he has a lot of health, a lot of armor. I've hit my Vengeful Assault to give me a bit of extra speed. He doesn't quite get away there, but I don't think anybody... Oh yes, Thor just manages to pick him off, and I get the assist for that. Then Hercules picks off our Kali. Guan Yu picks off our Fenrir. I decide to run back in behind Athena to try and finish off the creep wave. I see Guan Yu coming, so I decide that I'm going to run around the corner. So at this point, our Fenrir has left the game. So I keep running. I can see I've got someone behind me. Hercules was hitting me up in the air and all kinds of things. Luckily for me, Athena is dealing with him. Athena has a very nice ability that taunts an opponent, and they basically have to fight or chase Athena. So I think she actually used that to pull Hercules off me, otherwise I would have been dead there. Had to try and drop something on that creep wave. Kali comes in to get me, so I run to the safety of the tower. And still managed to get caught by Ra's solar beam, so I go back into the fountain just to top up my health again. Also, of course, all of my items are being auto-bought for me, which is nice. It is a good method that allows you to basically just concentrate on the game and not have to worry about what items you are purchasing. But I would recommend to try and learn the items and to manually purchase them. I mean, I'm not a professional at this game. I did play it in the alpha. I didn't play it at all in the beta. And I've only been playing it since it's been launched for a couple of weeks. So I am very much a noob at this game. I do know some of the items, but a lot of the time I just put it on auto-buy because I am quite lazy. So, off goes the boar again, manages to hit Amir in the back. Got 5 assists at this point. I see Ra going around the outside here. And Thor's over here with me. I thought, oh, Thor will come in. Thor will help me. But no, he just buggers off. He's got half health at this point. So he's been chased down by everybody. Again, I get hit by Kali, so decide to run forwards out of the way. Managed to survive that one. Big team fight going in the middle. Lots of enemy creeps being escorted in by gods, so I go in with the suppression to do as much as I can. Another massive creep wave. Fire off the Vengeful Assault to get the best attack speed that I can. Athena's certainly trying to hold them back. One of them got through. She's trying to deal with Amir. And of course the problem we have now is we have a Hercules hiding directly behind the Assault Minion. The Assault Minion does get through, quite sadly. This is looking a bit hairy. I've got a Guan Yu on me. I've got Ymir after me. Someone in there was on low health, but I think they're going to get away. I see minions again going for our portal, so I go in to try and mop those up. And this is one of the big problems in arena mode. It's very, very easy to just concentrate on the team fight and forget that you actually need to mop up the minions. And I've seen many games where we've actually been ahead in the number of kills. And I'm going after Ra here, and I think I managed to pick him off. And I use my sprint to try and get him. Realise he's out of range. Carly gets him. But yes, it is one of the things that happens in arena mode quite a lot is that people forget about the minion waves and just go after kills. And yes, you do knock 5 tickets off your opponent's score every time you kill one of them. But I've seen games where we've been well ahead on kills but lost because we've let minions get through. So it's very, very important to mop them up. Not to mention it's experience and gold and stuff as well. So everyone's doing their abilities. Hercules manages to get Kali with a very lucky boulder as she's trying to run into our fountain. So I run forward, suppression again on Ymir. He's got quite low health, and then Ra decides to start dropping all his stuff. In goes my Caledonian boar. It hits somebody, but I can't tell who, and I just start spamming away. Thor manages to pick up the kill on Ra, and I get the assist. Kali going on me once again, so I decide to back off and just start firing at her with my auto attack. She starts to realise she's in trouble. I'm trying to kite her into my trap, but it didn't matter in the end because I managed to kill her. At the same time, our Thor gets their Ymir. I've got low health, so I hit my health potion. I also hit my meditation to get my mana back. Instantly run back into the fight with another volley from my suppression. So you often find playing Artemis, as well as a lot of the hunters, that you just start shooting into the middle of a fight in the hope you hit somebody. Doing quite a lot of damage in there. Our Kali didn't get away from Guan Yu, unfortunately, but Thor manages to take Guan Yu out and evens the score a little. I'm going on Hercules because he hasn't realised that I'm at the side of him. Realised I'd got Kali behind me. I'd also got Ymir coming in, so I decided, you know what, this is not a good place to stay, and I decided to run out. I can tell Athena's dropping in on me, so I decide to stand next to Kali, because I know that when Athena drops in, it does a little bit of a stun, but I bit off a little bit more than I can chew, and managed to get killed by Kali all the same. So, my first death, 3 kills, 9 assists at the 12-minute mark. Still a few creeps getting through. I'm going after Ymir. Auto attack, absolutely fantastic. Finish Ymir off. Now I decide to take my vengeance and go after Hercules. Don't think I'll catch him, but I keep juking around. Realised he's got away. Decide to turn and fire at Guan Yu. Get the kill. Realised that Hercules hasn't actually ran off, so I dropped my boar. I was actually hoping that I'd get Hercules, but luckily for me, Hercules actually stopped, turned around and came back. Thor manages to pick off Ra. Hercules does get away, sadly, but at least he's out of the fight for a few more seconds. So even though I didn't get the god I wanted, I got 2 more, so I'm now on 5 kills and 10 assists. Running back in, drop a trap. Hopefully they won't notice where I put it. put my suppression down in front of the tower, hopefully do some damage to the whole lot of them, and just start auto-firing away like a madman. Hopefully we'll hit something. Their Guan Yu's very low on health, but he's popped his ulti to run back to base. I managed to get their Kali with a couple of lucky shots. Still just tidying up the creep wave. Our Kali gets their Ra. Another suppression goes in and kills that creep wave. Then I turn around, notice Amir is behind me with his back to me, trying to deal with the creep wave. Kali goes in on him. I was going to help with him and then realised that the entire rest of the team was running my way, so I decided to sprint out of there and turn around. Their Kali was just kind of standing there. Not sure whether she lagged out for a second or whether she was waiting for an ability to come off cooldown. But I certainly got her attention, decided it was a good time to run away. Looked on the mini-map, she was chasing after Athena, so I decided to turn and have a couple of shots. Our Kali got in real trouble there. I went for their Ra and missed. Our Thor is going skywards. Not too sure who he's coming down on yet. He comes down kind of in the middle of them. He's going after Hercules. I start going in with my auto attacks, realising Mir's on my right-hand side. Shouldn't be difficult to miss that huge iceberg, but he does have a habit of just appearing when you least expect him to. In goes the boar, manages to stun Kali, allowing Athena to get the kill. Managed to get flattened by Hercules' boulder there, because I'd also been stunned by Amir. Trying to get out of the way of Ra's ability, because I could hear it charging up. In goes my volley. Lands on somebody, but I don't get the kill. Kali does, luckily, so we are wiping their team out. 28 kills to 17 now, coming up to the 15-minute mark, so we're doing quite well. I've got no mana left. I've also popped my meditation, and I've got over 3,000 gold sitting in the bank, so I'm going to run back to the fountain to get my final item and pick up my rage, which will give me a lot of extra damage. So 6 kills, 1 death, 14 assists. I feel like I'm a bit of an asset to the team. We're still ahead, but only by 40 tickets. Now, bear in mind, we are still down 1 player. It's 4 against 5 because Fenrir rage quit and never came back. Ra is in front of me. He's chasing someone down. Didn't realise I was behind him. I came up and finished him off. I think Thor might have been trying to kill steal there, but got in all the same. Kali decides to step in my trap, so she gets the full brunt of my auto attack, and now I'm dealing with a Guan Yu and a Hercules. Not very good, so down goes the suppress. Firing in there, I managed to pick off their Guan Yu. And once again, Hercules, who was my original target, gets away after allowing me to kill 2 of the gods. So, picking on Ra a little bit, don't quite get him, but I think Thor lands in there. Oh no, our Kali manages to get him, and I start shooting into the fountain. I actually drop my boar and kill their Kali just as she's running into the fountain, which I'm very happy about. There's been a number of times playing this game where I've actually died while just inside the fountain doorway, and it's so annoying. I'm really glad that I managed to give that displeasure to somebody else this time around. So, just a big massive spam fest of abilities in the middle there. I do manage to take out their Guan Yu, who was trying to run away. I think we lost somebody. No, they lost somebody else in there as well. Our Kali gets somebody, didn't even see who it was. Our Kali gets their Kali. Our Kali gets their Hercules. Now it's just Ra left, who I managed to pick off. So now we're up 40 kills to 19. You see on the screen that is Deicide, which means their entire team was dead. Now, one thing that is a little bit different in Arena, the way that dead heroes or dead gods respawn. In most other games, it's dependent on your level. As the game goes on and your level goes up, it takes longer for you to respawn each time you die. However, there's actually a global timer on Arena, so when people die, they all tend to get resurrected at the same time. I think this is to stop people sort of just coming out one by one and being cannon fodder for the enemy team. So, Ra wanted to take me on. I had a go. Fire at Hercules, then realised that Guan Yu's right in front of me. He's trying to kibble me up, but he didn't realise that our Thor was behind him. I go in and try and help out. Unfortunately, Hercules takes the shot, and then I get hit in the back by Ra's solar beam, but I did manage to stay alive. Ra hits me again with his solar blessing. I'm determined to try and take out Ymir, which I do. I also drop my boar. Unfortunately, Hercules knocks me back under their tower twice, which doesn't help a lot, and Hercules finishes me off. So it's my second death after 13 kills and 19 assists. Although a couple of seconds left and I'll be back in. At this point I call GG because there's only 10 tickets left on the enemy team. And I figure that we've got this in the bag because we've got 120 odd tickets left. So they're down to 9. I'm just going in, spam firing at everybody there. Kali takes out their Ra. They're down to 4 tickets. I'm wildly firing, and I finish off their Guan Yu to take the final tickets for the team. 43 kills compared to 21. So I consider that to be quite a good victory, considering again that we were a man down. Normally it's the opposite way around, have to be quite honest. Normally in these games it's the enemy team that tends to have a man down, which is not the worst thing. Obviously it's good for us being on the winning team if our enemy's down a man, but it feels like a bit of a cheap victory if you win against a team that that isn't full. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.